discover some differences in our body between what we call neutral spine and imprint spine. So what are the difference between both spinal positions? When do we use them? What do they mean? What are they good for? All kinds of good stuff. I'll teach you a few exercises that really help you embrace the concept of that neutral versus imprint spine. And we'll just use a mat here lying down. So quick little video. We'll lie down on our back and get moving here. You're going to ground your feet with your knees bent. They can be about hip distance apart. Doesn't really matter here what those legs are doing. All I want you to do is lie down in whatever position feels natural for you. So your hands can rest by your side. You want to feel as much length as you possibly can in your neck. Bringing your chin down just a tad. I want you to notice how it makes the back top part of your head feel long and reaching towards the opposite side of the room. That's creating nice open space for those shoulders to sink down in the back pockets. You're opening the collarbone up wide, pressing into the backs of the arms, but at the same time, I don't want you to flare the chest forward. So opening up the collarbone, but keeping the ribs knitted together. As you breathe in, can you think about sending your air into the back and sides of your ribs, expanding from the sides and back, but trying to keep the front ribs down and reaching in. You're going to exhale to shrink wrap that rib cage back together, blowing out so much air that you feel a little quiver in the top surface of your abdominals. Inhaling to expand into the sides and back, and then exhaling to blow it all out. Can you draw your belly button in as you blow it all out? Inhaling high into the rib cage, and then exhaling out through those pursed lips like you're whistling. We're moving down the spine. So after the ribs, you've got the low back. I want you to notice if it naturally smashes down into your mat or if there's a little space back there. Ideally, you want enough space for a little cherry tomato to sit there between your low back and the mat. Depending on how developed our glutes are, that space might be smaller or larger. A good rule of thumb is to create a little triangle shape with your hands and then place that little triangle right where your bikini would be. Notice if the hips and the pubic bone are level. You can even look up, take a peek, and notice if the fingertips are higher than the thumbs or if the thumbs are higher than the fingertips. Try to find that level surface and then just pause for me. There's your neutral spine. That's what you're always looking for when we work. This is your ideal position to work for your back to be in alignment the way it's supposed to be. But if we haven't developed enough deep core strength surrounding our spine, we might not be able to maintain this position without feeling our low back starts to compromise. So all we'll do is come back to your little triangle shape, place it on the bikini line. Now take a big breath in. On the exhale, I want you to bring the fingertips higher than the thumbs. You're going to press the back of your belly button down into the mat using your abdominals. Your tailbone is tucking up towards the sky. This position is what we call imprint. Notice how your ribs and your hips are now closer together. You can bring the arms back down to your sides. This position is forcing those deep abdominals to turn on, and it's going to create relief for the low back. In exercises where your low body, like your legs, are lifted, they're heavy, your low back might need this position for more support as you practice. So this position is really good if you ever start to feel the low back irritating you, especially when the legs are lifted. Exercise we're going to take, it's called a pelvic rock. All you're going to do is just inhale to create that space for your cherry tomato. Hips and pubic bone go level. Exhale, pull the back of the belly button down into the mat, tailbone towards the sky. Inhaling to arch, space between the ribs and the hips. Exhale, pull a rubber band between the ribs and the hips. Send the hips closer towards those ribs. Engage your center. Try not to squeeze your glutes in this position. Inhaling to arch away. Exhaling to imprint the low back. Try to stay relaxed in the neck. Inhale to arch away. Exhale, pull the low back down. 2 more of those. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, imprint. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, imprint. Find that lift of your pelvic floor. Come back to your neutral spine. We're going to try to hold our neutral spine in this next exercise. Your hands are going to float 2 inches up away from the mat. We're going to do our abdominal curl or our chest lift. You're going to nod the chin towards the chest. Lift the head, lift the neck, lift the shoulders, take a peek at the hips and the pubic bone. Are they still parallel to the floor? Can I lift my upper body without compromising the space in my low back? You're going to lower first the shoulders, then the neck, then the head, and then exhale to lift 1 bone at a time, maintaining that space between the low back and the mat. Inhaling to lower down, exhaling to lift. Go at your own pace. Your goal is to try to move the upper portions of your spine without the low back. So a lot of times our spine wants to move in one piece. Joseph Pilates had the saying, you're only as young as your spine is flexible. We're looking to gain movement here while containing control. 3 more of these. Breathe through it. 2 more. Beautiful. Last one here. Lower the head down. Lower the arms. Relax them down. Perfect. Now we're going to talk about imprint. Pull the back of the belly button heavy down into the mat. Once the back of the belly button's heavy down into the mat, you're going to lift the legs up to tabletop. Your knees, they're about right over your hips. They can be a little bit closer if you need to. You're forcing that connection between the ribs and the hips. Smashing the back of the belly button down. You're going to try to keep the back of the belly button down. Drop the right foot for the mat. Good. Scoop the core, lift it up, drop the left foot for the mat. So you're trying to keep the tailbone up towards the sky as 1 foot at a time drops down. Finding the engagement in your center. Only drop the foot as far as you can maintain that deep connection in your core. This is going to make your move come from your abdominals and not from your hip flexors. So deepest layers working here instead of the outer surface, finding the support for your skeleton as opposed to just working those big bulgy muscles. 2 more on each side like this. Beautiful. 1 more. You can drop both those feet down and relax back to your neutral. Good. We're going to roll our spine this time, finding a variation of your bridge. The arms can go down by your sides, press down into the mat. Find your neutral here first. Last thing, as a part of this video, I just want to teach you how to move your spine 1 bone at a time. So first you're in neutral, big inhale. Exhale, drop the belly button down to imprint. Remember, your glutes are relaxed as you activate your core. Once your core is activated in imprint, then you're going to squeeze the glutes, trying to send your sits bones closer together. You're going to turn on the back half of your body, and you're going to lift just your tailbone off the mat. Find your curve in your low back. Keep the curve in your low back. Can your pubic bone always be the highest part of your spine? As you peel up away from the mat, the low back lifts, the mid back lifts. Finally, the hips are high. Your rib cage is still closed. You're still aiming the ribs down for the mat. You're going to lower the heart first. Keep the scoop in the core. Ribs and hips, they're glued together. Mid back, low back. Finally, tailbone. Relax to neutral. Let go of the glutes. Let go of the core. Same thing. belly button down, imprint, find abdominals, then find the seat. Once the pubic bone is high, peel away, lift, lift, lift the hips up, keep that little rounding sensation in the low back. So tucking the hips towards the ribs is going to create full hip extension at the top. It's going to allow you to lengthen the front half of the body and strengthen the back half of the body. Exactly the goal of your bridge. Dropping the heart first. Round, round, round. Find the length in your low back. And then finally relax to neutral. One more of those. Belly button down, imprint. Force the core. Squeeze the glutes. Peel up and away. Keep the core on and active. Don't let the ribs flare high. And then drop the heart. Scoop, scoop, scoop the belly in, finding as much length as you can in the low back. And then finally relaxing that tailbone down, letting go of the abdominals, coming back to your neutral spine. Gorgeous. Slow, safely make your way up to a seated position. Amazing work there today. I hope that creates any clarity if you were confused about the neutral versus imprint. I know I talk about it a lot during your videos. It'll create that nice deep strength in your core. And I can't wait to see you next time on the mat.